All right. I got 2:45 on my clock. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into this thing. As I told y'all, Nikki is primed up and ready to give some power training on personal recruiting. So I am going to not answer this call, but send a text. I'm going to turn it over to Nikki. Nikki, you got everything ready? Is anything you need from me?
No, sir. I think I'm good.
All right. Well, I'm Nikki McAllister. You may not know her, you may not recognize her. She's been on American Idol. She's been on
Who knew?
what else she's been on? She's been on all kind of stuff. She's famous. You want an autograph? Meeting later this afternoon for autographs. But besides that, the one, the only. Let's give it up for Nikki McAllister.
So as Brian mentioned earlier, I'm not nervous at all, right? So bear with me. I might get a little tongue-tied, but I can talk to a fence post all day long. But talking to you guys on Zoom just gives me, I don't know, something about it just makes me a little nervous. So we're going to get started. So we're just going to talk about some best practices for personal recruiting, share what I've learned, share what I know. And then we have a guest speaker at the end who's going to help me share some things also. So we'll go ahead and get started. So to begin, what is the definition of a personal recruit? So if you don't know, candidates that are recruited primarily through personal relationships where the agent has, or you have identified that the candidate is good for our business. There's two things. There's recruits that do not count and recruits that do count. So the recruits that do count as a personal recruit, personal acquaintances, friends, family, your neighbor, your wait staff, mall or retail workers, the guy behind you at the convenience store, you get to talking to people in the convenience store, and referrals obtained from, in-home recruiting on the laptop. Recruits that do not count current traditional recruiting methods such as RMS, newspaper, career fairs, your agency social media page, your personal social media pages, I think it's colleges and internet postings. You post it on the internet. Kind of like just to retouch base on that, candidates that are not recruited through existing or structuring systems such as RMS, newspaper ads. We go to these career fairs; those don't count. Job boards such as Monster, Career Builder, Craigslist. And guys, to be a personal recruit, it doesn't mean that you have to have a personal relationship with them. Or that they'll even be successful in our company. It's just somebody that just sparked your attention that you have observed to have positive characteristics. So compensation and incentives. So this is additional income for you just for personal recruiting. $500 to the recruiting agent when the personal recruit codes, $500 to the supervisor, $500 to the general agent, and $250 to the agency director. And then you get up to $10,000 convention credits per PR. Now, what that means is it's dollar for dollar. So they come in, they hit that $1,500, so you get $1,500 towards your convention credits. They come in, they do $50,000, you get up to the $10,000 for convention credits for the PR. There's no limit to the number of personal recruits that you can have. So, 10 personal recruits pays you $5,000. 10 PRs that come in and make writes $1,000 gets you $10,000 worth of personal recruiting credits. So I want to touch on this a little bit. This is your club levels for personal recruiting. When you reach the club levels, you'll receive recognition in the company magazine, and then as this follows. So, 1 personal recruit, you're bronze, you get that frame certificate. 3 gets you silver, a nice Pro Club polo. Gold gets you, is 6 personal recruits. That gets you a choice of a gift up to $150, and they have thousands, maybe probably gifts to choose from. 9 personal recruits gets you platinum. That's a choice of gift up to $250. Titanium gets you 12 gets you titanium and a Pro Club ring. 18 gets you diamond, and you get an extra night at convention. So not only do you get the money for recruiting them, you get the convention credits, and you get that extra night at convention. And then black is 24 personal recruits, and that's your all-time PRs, you get a trip for two valued at $4,500 for 3 days and 2 nights.
Hey, Nikki,
Sir?
can I just add here to everybody, like, for those that don't know, it's not like if you got 9 personal recruits, you get a gift, you go platinum with a gift of $250. When your first one is turned in, they send you a certificate. 2 more personal recruits, they send you a polo. Basically, 3 more personal recruits, you get a gift of $150. 3 more, a gift up to $250. 3 more, the pro club ring, and then 6 more, the X-Night convention. So, like, you get everything on the. If you get 18, you're getting the certificate, the polo, a gift up to $150, a gift up to $250, the pro club ring, and the X-Night convention. It's not like you a lot of times you qualify for something, and whatever highest level you get, that's your prize. No, every time you hit a tier, you're getting the prize. You're getting the reward. And as Nikki said earlier, every personal recruit, you're going to get additional personal recruiting convention credits, additional convention credits from each personal recruit. And we were talking earlier, and I was like, 18 personal recruits. If they came here and did 10, you got 10,000 each. That's 180,000 of your convention qualifying credits that you're going to need for next year's convention. So these are huge as you get these, as you get consistent in personal recruiting.
Yes, sir. So why personal recruiting? It's higher caliber people. These people are coachable and they have a personal connection with you. You're their familiar face. You're their support system. They're more comfortable with you. So examples of personal recruiting scenarios, center of influence, somebody, you get to thinking about that, has a lot of, knows a lot of people. Presentation recruiting, referrals from the laptop. I touched base on that a second ago. This is when you're sitting with your business, you're at an enrollment and you're sitting with an employee and they tell you that their spouse just lost their job. There's your opportunity to personally recruit. However, we do not personally recruit the employee themselves. Day-to-day interaction, family social gatherings, in the line at the movies, coffee shop, airports, your service industries like restaurant servers. We're in restaurants daily, hostesses, and DoorDash. A lot of people DoorDash these days. Recruit your DoorDash driver. So examples, how to steer the conversation, relax, be yourself, keep it casual. And as you build rapport with these people, just consider asking questions. What do you do for a living? Do you like what you're doing? What's your dream job? Are you limited at how much money that you can earn there? And do you feel like you control your career? Just some traits of success to look for in people, people with past history of success, positive self-image, their work ethic, high energy, ambitious, educated, coachable, charismatic, belief in the product or the process, enthusiastic, team player, their career disrupted, goal-oriented, good people skills, good communicator, advancement minded, entrepreneur mentality, leadership skills. These are things that you can kind of watch and look for even as you're sitting in these places like the convenience stores, restaurants. Another example would be successful athletes. They're competitive. People with good management experience. So now that you have found the person you're looking for, you're going to take charge. You're going to control that conversation. So just a couple things to talk about is, it's an opportunity for merit-based growth. You have access to leadership's best practices, the independence and freedom. You're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. The high income potential based on performance. Our agent average income in our office last year was $72,100. And then, of course, the residual income. We have opportunity to earn sales incentive trips to exciting destinations, such as, the convention credits that we touched base on a while ago. Locations that we've went on convention are Las Vegas, and this year's qualification is and for next year's convention is actually Las Vegas, so we're going back there. Miami, Puerto Rico, Bahamas, Dominican Republic, and Mexico. You know, you have complete control of what you earn. And then setting the appointment. So talk about your experience with Globe Life Liberty National Division. You know, what has the experience done for you? What is your why? Invite the candidate to interview with management at your office, you know, exchange contact information, put them in a group text with your agency director, exchange their contact information for me. I'll call them, you know, give them the JOT form that we have. There's a JOT form that you can fill out. And if you don't have it, we can get it to you. Give them the JOT form, have them fill it out. It comes to me and I can contact them that way also. Suggested closing statements. So, you know, in talking with you today, I feel like you have a lot of the qualities we're looking for that would make someone successful with our company. While I'm at it, let me just get your name and phone number. Don't ask. While I'm at it, let me just get your name and phone number, or let me put you in a group text with my agency director. I would love for you to meet one-on-one with my manager on such and such date and time. And don't hesitate to call me if you have any questions. So those of you that came to kick off, this is our personal recruiting script here that we used. ADs have access to it. GAs and SAs, I will post those in the group me also. But, you know, we touched base on building the rapport a while ago. You know, wow, you've done a great job today, or I really appreciate your help. You know, then you follow with, how long have you worked here? Is this your end game, or do you plan to retire? Do you like what you're currently doing? You know, and then there's some rebuttals that I gave you some answers to try to overcome, you know. But those of you, if you need the script, we can make sure we get it to you also to carry around. And last but not least, last year, Bree's team was one of the top in the agency for personal recruiting. Bree and Christina Singletary actually had the most PRs as ADs in our agency. I've asked Bree to kind of hop on and just say a few things about her experience with personal recruiting, give us any of her tips. So if everybody will please welcome Bree Hyatt.
Hi. Okay. So tips. I would say definitely being mindful of how you're using your social media, what you're posting. Definitely if you're in leadership and you're making decent money, the bags, the watches, all the things that you have. If you take the vacations, the trips, those are going to be the things that have people, you know, hopping in your messages asking, what do you do? How do you live a life like this? Like we all see the people on social media where you're like, what do they do? They're always doing something. How do you have all these bags? Like, how do you have the cars, the watches, and just being like, you know, you're kind of like your own walking advertisement. So that's first. I would say on my team, what really created a culture was having the PRs. And those are typically the people who are bringing in the other people that they know because that's how they were brought into it, right? And so I would just say also like recruit the people that you know, want on your team. Like at the end of the day, these are the people that are walking into the business next to you. And so, you know, make sure they're like clean cut, cool, I don't know, whatever version of that you want to be next to that represents you as well when you're walking into the business with these people. I don't know, Nikki, what else?
I think that's good. I really like what you said about the, you know, your social media. Be careful what, you know, watch what you post on those, you know, be mindful of that those are the things that people are gonna ask, you know, how did you get where you are now? You know, what are you doing for a living? So I thought that was a really good piece of information.
Right.
I got a question for you, Bree. When you said all those bags, are you talking about these bags? What bags are you talking about?
No,
What-
I'm talking
my
about
eyes, the ones that I've earned.
Louis, YSL, a little Gucci. Yeah, those bags.
That's funny. And even when you're out in public, you know, you're out in these stores, you're out in the restaurants, you're out, you know, doing your daily and you're dressed to a T, right? You're walking in these restaurants in these blazer and these, you know, nice slack pants and jackets and they're like, wow, because those kind of people catch my eye when I'm in restaurants and stuff.
Right.
So you're like, wow, I wonder what they do for a living, you know, and it does spark the conversation a lot. So
Yeah, especially if you pull up to a gas station in a Lamborghini.
I mean, this is true. This is true.
Yeah.
So,
That'll do it.
okay. Well, Brian, did you have anything else to add?
No, you did a good job, Nikki. Thanks, Bree, for sharing. Y'all did a great job.
Yes. Thank you, Bree. Well, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. My nerves are a little better now. If you have any questions, you guys can always reach out to me here at the office, and I'll do my best to answer them. And I'll get that script sent over to the GAs and the essays today. But other than that, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you all have a great Easter.